How to stop being a perfectionist. You may think that perfectionism is a good thing, but really it's not. And today I'm going to talk about some hidden signs of perfectionism and how it can have a negative impact on your life. And I'm going to share with you some strategies to help reduce that perfectionistic behavior. For those of you that are new to this channel, my name is Elizabeth Ritchie. I'm a registered clinical counselor and a certified life coach. And I have been working for years helping men and women bust through blocks that have been holding them back so they can create happier, more fulfilled lives. So if you like this video, I would love it if you give me a like, hit subscribe, comment below, and stay tuned for more videos. So what is perfectionism? The Cambridge Dictionary describes perfectionism as somebody who wants every single thing to be perfect and has high exacting standards, not just for themselves, but for other people around them. So you may have heard of famous individuals such as Serena Williams, Steve Jobs of Apple, Martha Stewart with her major empire with magazines and do-it-yourself stuff for the home. Well, those three individuals are all self-described perfectionists. And yes, they have achieved great success, but they will be the first to tell you that it has come at a personal cost. And generally, being a perfectionist is not all good, even though you are able to achieve goals. The downside is that it can impact you adversely, negatively, and generally that's in the area of relationships. So perfectionism has this underside, and the belief that's driving the perfectionism is the belief that I am not good enough unless I am achieving. I'm not good enough unless I'm winning trophies. I'm not good enough unless I'm the best. So it's like living in a giant report card where you're just always going after gold stars and A pluses. So where does perfectionism come from? Often it comes from the way that we were raised, from our families or our place of origin. So if we were raised in homes where there was a lot of rigid black and white thinking, very high expectations, not a lot of room for error or failure, those kind of situations can lead to feelings of low self-esteem and feelings of inadequacy. Now, do you think you may be a perfectionist or have some perfectionistic tendencies? I'm going to share with you 6 red flags, something to be aware of that may indicate that you have some perfectionistic tendencies in your makeup. Here are 6 signs that you may have perfectionistic tendencies. Number 1, wanting to control things, not delegating, not being able to let others take over and make decisions on your behalf. Micromanaging might be a good example of that. Number 2, inability to relax and just enjoy life. There's always a push to be doing, achieving, striving, and relaxing is very difficult. 3, seeing things in black and white, like my side of the argument is always right and the other side is wrong. They're in the wrong, kind of that all or nothing thinking. 4, you get so bogged down in the details of a project or an assignment that you never get it done. It just doesn't move forward because you're very focused on the tiny details. 5, procrastinating. So waiting for the right time, the perfect time. I can't do it right now. I've got to wait for this to happen first. So procrastination is another sign. And number 6, the big one that we already talked about, is constantly feeling a sense of inadequacy. Like whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, it's just not good enough. It's just not measuring up. So those are 6 sort of red flags to be on the watch for in terms of perfectionistic behavior. So what's so bad about being a perfectionist? Well, as I've talked about previously, those feelings of always needing to strive for more and be more, and the underlying feeling of being inadequate and feeling like you're not good enough, that leads to low self-esteem, which in turn can lead to conditions like depression and anxiety and eating disorders. Basically, constant perfectionism and that really high standard for yourself, having that high standard and for those around you, that can just lead you to an early grave through stress and worry and anxiety and depression and eating disorders. So it is something to address. So, how do we stop being a perfectionist? I am going to show you 5 ways to stop those perfectionistic behaviors and really just stop being your own worst enemy, which is what being a perfectionist truly is. So, number 1, what you want to do is you want to swap out your high or unrealistic expectations and you want to switch them with expectations that are much more realistic and attainable. 2, don't believe everything you think. Often what's going on in your head, the thoughts that you're thinking are not true. So you really want to slow yourself down and you want to question your thoughts and you want to address them and see, is what you're thinking really true? Being mindful. Number 3, you need to prioritize your self-care. Ensure that you're spending enough time on rest and recharging your batteries. Number 4, learn to say no more often. When you say yes to things that you don't really want to do, to things that other people want you to do, what you're doing is saying no to yourself, no to your soul. So practice saying no thanks, I'm not interested in doing that, and it's like a muscle, it'll get stronger. Number 5, the final thing, the final key to stop being a perfectionist is be here now. Live in the present. Don't worry about what else other people are doing or where they're at. There is a timing to everything, and where you are right now is where you need to be. So be here now. Now, I hope you liked this video on how to stop being a perfectionist, and you now can recognize some red flags of perfectionistic behavior, and you have some tools to work with to stop that behavior, to stop being your own worst enemy. So if you liked this video, and I hope you did, give it a like, subscribe, give me a comment. I'd love to hear what you thought, and hit the notification bell so you can see when my next video on mental wellness is coming out. Thanks so much. Until next time.